he just looks zapped. What's up YouTube, it's Mike and I'm back with another review, and today we're taking a look at the Mezco 112 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mezco exclusive box set. This set went up for pre-order on May 15th for a retail price of $400 US. With shipping to Canada and conversion and fees, it came out to a whopping 680 Canadian dollars. Rest in peace to my wallet, being a Canadian collector is not easy. This set is supposed to be very similar to the original Mezco Toyz TMNT release, so I'll try to make this review nice and quick. Let's get into it. So this set is supposed to be based off of the classic Ninja Turtles cartoon, but stylized to a more Mezco Toyz look. New head sculpts and a new color palette bring that vibrant 80s style to life. So unfortunately, I don't have the first release of these Ninja Turtles, so we're going to go over the articulation really quickly, but my understanding is that they share the same bodies as the original release, they're just painted differently. I'm just going to use Raph because Raph is my favorite turtle. He can look up approximately that much and look down about that much. The head can move all the way around and it can tilt side to side. The front part of the shell is flexible so they can scrunch forward about that much. Arms can go up approximately that much and they can go all the way around, barring the turtle shell behind there. There is a swivel at the bicep, double jointed elbows, and you have your standard wrist peg from Mezco. There is a lower ab cut as well, but it gives you very little movement. The bottom part of the shell is also flexible, so the lower torso can kind of curl in a little bit more. They can kick up about that much, double jointed knees, and your standard ankle movement for Mezco figures. You also have hip rotation, but be very careful. I don't really trust these ball joints. They do look a little bit frail, so be careful with that. This is a very expensive set for you to break, so don't force it. Alright, so here's a close look at Raph. We'll go by the turtles one by one and we'll go over our accessories. He's looking really good. He's my favorite. I love how this one is sculpted. Seems a little bit more stocky than the other turtles. And I think he does have the best head sculpts out of the 4 turtles. Here's a look at the head sculpt that Raph comes with in the box. You also get a nice snarling face that looks really, really good. Love how the cartoon style teeth are just popping like that. You also get a cocky head sculpt here. I think that came out great too. It comes with a longer bandana, so if you want you can just pluck that off and peg in the other one for the longer bandana. Inside this weapon pack you'll find Raph's signature weapons, his size. They came out really good. Looking very cartoony. You can just swap out the fisted hands and put in some weapon holding hands, and Raph can hold his size really easy. Get Raph down into a nice fighting stance. That looks really good. Here's a look at Raph's belt. He's got a bunch of pouches on it, and these pouches don't open. He's got some holsters for his sai. Got another pouch on the side here that doesn't open. And on the back you have storage for weapons here, as well as here. Raphael's weapon storage is located just on the front of his belt there. You slide the middle prong of the sai just in like so. You do the same on the other side. Really nice battle damage and finish on this sai. Looks really good. We'll take a look at Donnie next. And he's... oh boy. I mean, I understand what they were going for with this head sculpt, but he just looks zapped. So despite this head sculpt, I think Donnie did come out very well. He's more slender compared to the other turtles. I think that fits Don pretty well. His holsters look really good. I really like the way that it came out, and it stays on really well in comparison. Some of the turtles that have just this singular belt, it tends to slide down. But with Donnie's shoulder strap here, it keeps the belt up. And he's got a lot of pouches, and he's got weapon storage as well. And yeah, it came out really nice. Going over the head sculpts, yeah, we get this just pure zapped head sculpt. Like, what is happening, buddy? Are you alright? We get a smiling version of the zapped eyes. This one looks a lot better, though. I'm a little bit more pleased with the way that this one came out than the neutral head sculpt. Then we have a very surprised Donnie look. I like how this one, the eyes are anchored, whereas in the other two, the eyes are just kind of floating, the pupils are floating, so it just doesn't look good in this form, I don't know. But having anchored pupils like that, it just looks so much better. I think I'm going to display Donatello like this with this face sculpt. I just think with some expression, the eyes don't look as bad as they do on the neutral face. Donatello's bow staff is located in this weapons pack. The bow staff came out really cool. It's not exactly straight. It's got little kind of indentations and curvatures throughout it and wood grain. They are lacking a black wash on the wood grain though. That would really make it stand out. There's some wash on the kind of the grip part here, but nothing along on the wood grain there. Just swap out Donnie's hands and slide the bow in, and then you can get him into some cool poses holding the bow. For the bow storage, it's just located on the bandolier there. You just kind of pour it in there and slide. I just like to twist through the leather, but be careful. It's kind of just, it's sewn together here, and you know, it's not really held on by much. So take your time with this, kind of just twist through. You have your storage for Don. Next, we'll take a look at Michelangelo, and right out of the box, he comes with this very serious side-eyeing face, which to me is kind of uncharacteristic of Michelangelo. Usually he's more quirky, happy. Maybe he's better suited for some of Don's faces. But I mean, it is kind of cool. It's good to have an action-posed head like this to give it a little bit of character. And when you're, maybe if you want to do some posing and some photography, it's always good to have some eyes moving in different directions so that you can get different poses out of it. It's a closer look at this head sculpt. It does look really nice though. Maybe just not suited for Mikey. I really like the vibrant green that they use on these turtles. It just makes it look so nostalgic. Mikey has basically like a medium build in comparison to Raph and in comparison to Donnie, who's a little bit more slender. Now I really like this. This head sculpt is very much reminiscent of what I remember Mikey to look like in the 80s and early 90s. Very nice smile and just the nice bright eyes. That looks really good. And his other head sculpt is this very nice oh no face, and that's awesome. That's just so like Michelangelo there. I think this is how my Michelangelo is going to be displayed with this head sculpt. I think this is just what I envision Michelangelo to look like. Here's Michelangelo's signature weapon, the nunchucks. And they come with real metal chains as well as a wire. Now, that's just a great idea. I just don't know how the durability of that small little gauge wire is going to be like from bending it too many times. It may snap, give up over time. So that's something to kind of monitor. Again, the wood grain came out really nice, but it's not washed, so it doesn't really pop. But otherwise, it looks really good. Swap out Mikey's hands into the weapon holding hands, and he can hold his nunchucks, and they can pose around. That's awesome. Really love the freedom to be able to pose these the way that you want them. For the signature weapon storage, you're going to just fold up the nunchucks and then slide them through these slots. These holes are just not big enough to slide both ends of the nunchuck through. You're just going to have to just kind of slide in like so. It looks silly like that. I mean, I'm sure you can kind of stretch this out to get both spots or both sticks in, but I'm not going to do it. I just don't want to break it. So you could probably try going up the other way. Maybe that will work, but yeah. I guess you can just fold it up and just jam the chain through there and then that would hold, but yeah, it kind of looks silly though. Just like the other turtles, you can just attach the longer bandana piece there. And finally, we'll take a look at our fearless leader, Leonardo. And this one is just so awesome. Really, really like how he's got this nice stern, stoic look on his face. I do have one gripe, and it is unfortunately the belt. It does just keep falling and sliding down this way. I have to keep pushing it back up, and it's becoming a really big nuisance. But I don't know, we'll figure it out. Maybe I'll add some glue or something. His head sculpt came out really nice. Very stoic look. He also comes with one of these funny looking Donatello zapped heads. And this head sculpt is awesome. Nice screaming head, or a charging head. Look at the cartoon teeth, they're so awesome. Mezco is not really known for doing teeth very well, but I really like how they did these cartoon teeth. You can add the longer bandana piece as well. Leonardo's body is in similar proportions to Mikey, so that's probably like the normal turtle size, and then Raph is a more stocky, and then Donatello is a more slender build. Leonardo's swords and sheaths can be found in this weapon pack. Just take the katanas and put them into the katana sheath, and then you can slide them into the weapon storage on the bandolier on the back. I'll go all the way up to that tab there. And Leonardo can store his weapons. Just swap out the hands and you can get Leo in some awesome fighting poses there. Closer look at the katanas. They came out really nice. There's no weathering on the katanas though. They just kind of, look like shiny metal there. And they are flexible, so less chance of breaking them. Next, let's get into accessories because there are a lot of them and there's a lot to talk about, so we'll start with our hands. Now, in terms of hands, there are a lot of them. Each turtle comes with their own set. Most of them are the same, and then they have some stylized hands for that particular turtle. So Leonardo comes with 10 pairs of hands, Donatello comes with 8, Raphael comes with 12, and Michelangelo comes with 10. So the standard hands are pretty much all the same. They are these kind of open palm ones, these gripping hands that are already on, fisted hands, and like a stylized pointing hand, another gripping hand, and so on. So although their hands are the same color because the turtles all share the same skin tone, it looks like Raph's hands are slightly bigger in terms of the fisted hands than the other turtles. So do keep the parts for each turtle separate, just so you know, because they do have different sizes. Most of the other turtles, though, share the same size in terms of the fists, but I did notice that with Raph being a little bit more stocky. Seems like his fisted hands are a little bit bigger than the other turtles, although it's probably not big of a difference. So Raph is going to come with all of the standard hands, plus he's going to have some stylized hands that fit basically himself. So this would be an example of a different hand because he's using a sai. Sometimes he likes to hold his sai like so instead of just kind of holding it in a gripping hand. So you're going to get different hands for the different turtles. So it's better to just, although a lot of them are very similar, just keep them bagged separately so you'll know whose hands are who. You're going to get 4 of these awesome cartoon turtle communicators, and they just open up like so. Nice detail there. You have to be careful when opening these because the pins, they open out, the prongs, they open out together at the same time. So don't have your fingers here. Open it like so. Yeah, that came out really nice. So you're going to get 4 of these shell grapples with climbing ropes and some storage. And these things are really cool. They just, you just push here and it opens up. And then, when they want to grapple onto a building or something like that, you're just going to peg that in like so. You get the rope that attaches. They toss the grappling hook up there and they climb up the rope. Inside the weapon packs, you're going to find 4 of these little clips. You can take the turtle shell grapples and just kind of port that through. And then this can attach onto the belts of the turtles for storage that way. You're going to get 8 of these cartoon style wedge blades. You're going to get a pair of these climbing claws, and then you can just kind of get the turtle to hold it and climb up some buildings or whatever with it. That looks really cool. You're going to get 6 of these kunais, and they are a little bit sharp, so be careful with that. So you're going to get a pair of tonfas. You'll get 1 large push dagger. It's very nice and weathered and nice dual tones here. Looks good. You're going to get 8 of these ninja shurikens. They are super easy to lose and they are very sharp. You're going to get 3 of these incredibly small throwing darts, and they are small, easy to lose, and very sharp. You're going to get 8 Kyoketsu shoge, And they came out really nice. There's no chain on it, but there's definitely a loop there. So if you wanted to add your own chain, I guess you can add that, or just a rope or something like that. But yeah, that's there for you if you like. You also get a pizza box and 8 slices of pizza. It says Mikey's Famous Original Oven Fresh Pizza, we deliver. Pretty just plain cardboard box there. And the slices of pizza, they came out great. They're flexible and they look awesome. Nice slices of pizza there. Wow, even the bottom looks really good too. Each turtle comes with their corresponding base and their flight stands. So moving on to effect pieces, you get quite a bit of effect pieces, but some of these effect pieces are just kind of silly. We have a impact psi effect here. We have 2 of them. I guess you just port the psi into that, so that would be basically the psi coming into contact with something metal. And that looks okay. It will help you with some of your posing and photography there. You get a psi throwing effect, so you just port the handle in there. So that would be basically like you chucking a psi at you. Very deadly. You get 2 of these psi throwing effects here. I mean, they're okay. Maybe not. I don't know. They're kind of stupid in my opinion. You just kind of port the psi in there, and then you set up Raph to chuck a psi, and it looks like that. And I don't know. I guess for cartoon stuff that's okay for posing, but yeah, pretty stupid. Donatello comes with an impact attack that attaches to the end of his bow staff, so like an impact hit or a thrusting attack. That looks good. He also comes with a swinging impact effect piece. You just port that on top of the bow, and it's like he's made contact with the enemy there, or he's deflecting something, swiping. Looks good. I like that. Leonardo comes with a pair of swiping katana effects, and the katana just ports into the end there, like so. The effect piece is a little bit heavy, so I guess over time when the joints loosen up, it's going to be harder and harder to hold this. But I don't really like the angle that this comes in on. It's kind of hard to pose. The effect piece is so long that it kind of gets in the way when you're trying to pose. I guess that looks pretty good there, but yeah, overall, not a very nice effect piece. He also comes with a smaller slashing effect piece, and these, I don't know, they would have looked good if the port was up here. It just doesn't make sense to have it in the middle here. I mean, cutting in a downward motion, he hasn't started cutting down here yet. He's all the way up here, so I'd like when the effect piece comes off the blade versus in front of the blade. This is just too much in front of the blade in my opinion. And finally, my favorite effect piece is this nunchaku twirling effect. For Michelangelo, you're just going to take the nunchaku handle and peg that in like so, and then you can just put it in Michelangelo's hand, and then you got an awesome twirling effect piece. Looks good. Let's get into some comparisons now. So here is Leonardo standing next to his Mezco Toyz TMNT counterpart, and you can see the Mezco Toyz is larger. They stand about 7 inches tall. And if you're looking for something that's true to the cartoon, the Mezco Toyz one is going to be the one that you're going to want to get. If you're happy with the nostalgia factor, but these really cool stylized turtles, Mezco ones look really good. Here's Michelangelo next to his Mezco Toyz counterpart. So you can see on the Michelangelo figures, this is probably the head sculpt that they were trying to achieve, but they came up with this. And the difference is that the pupils are anchored properly, whereas these pupils are just kind of free floating in the middle of the eye there, and it just makes it look a little bit goofy. Here's the Mezco Toyz Raphael. Came out really nice. I absolutely love this Mezco Toyz Raph. I think the Mezco Toyz Raphael is the best of the 4 turtles. I think his head sculpts came out just perfect. And lastly, we have Donatello next to his Mezco Toyz counterpart. And this is just such a good head sculpt, but I can live with this. I doubt we're going to get any Mezco Toyz TMNT villains anytime soon, so in the meantime, you can pair them with the Mezco Toyz foot soldiers. I think that looks pretty good. If you're trying to get your crossover game on, here's a Mezco Toyz Batman. You could do some work based off the comic book miniseries Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles if you like. And if you wanted to see what they look like next to a standard Marvel Legends, here is Daredevil. So final thoughts on this set. This set was absolutely saved by the additional head sculpts. When the promo images came out, there was a lot of backlash in the comment section about the eyes, and I saw a lot of people bashing the set completely. I'm really happy I picked it up though, because I missed out on the original set, and I still think this is a decent substitute. The price point for these figures is really steep, so if you're looking to start a good TMNT collection, I do think that the Mezco Toyz turtles will save you some money, plus they look a little bit more accurate to the original cartoon than the Mezco ones. If you found this review helpful, hit the thumbs up and subscribe buttons and leave a comment below on whether or not you picked up this set. Head on over to plastic.life on Instagram for more action figure pics, and always remember, at the end of the day, this is your collection. Just buy whatever makes you happy. I hope you'll catch my next videos. Take